What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Let's rock this. Okay, let me preface this by saying that I was not really a fan of the previous Hunger Games films. I mean, I'm a fan of Jennifer Lawrence for all the obvious reasons, and I kinda sorta liked the first movie, but that franchise got regressively worse with each passing sequel, especially Mockingjay. And that was not even less than a decade ago, right? So the aftertaste hasn't completely faded away. So I went into the screening of this prequel with the lowest expectation possible, and maybe that kind of mindset helped. Because you know what? I ended up enjoying The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And as I mentioned in my previous social media reaction to this film, I find this prequel to be a hell of a lot more gripping than the original. This one is significantly more suspenseful and gritty, especially the tributes fights that are choreographed and executed in a manner that pushes those PG-13 boundaries. Now, the runtime could have been trimmed down a bit, and the ending could have been less ambiguous, but overall, this is an improvement in terms of the storytelling, the style, the direction, and the performances. Color me impressed. Based on Suzanne Collins' novel, scripted by Michael Leslie and Michael Arne, and directed by Francis Lawrence, experience the story of the Hunger Games 64 years before Katniss Everdeen volunteered as tribute, and decades before Coriolanus Snow became the tyrannical president of Panem. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, follows a young Coriolanus who is the last hope for his failing lineage, the once proud Snow family that has fallen from grace in post-war capital. With his livelihood threatened, Snow is reluctantly assigned to mentor Lucy Gray, a tribute from the impoverished District 12. But after Lucy Gray's charm captivates the audience of Panem, Snow sees an opportunity to shift their fates. With everything he has worked for hanging in the balance, Snow unites with Lucy Gray to turn the odds in their favor. Battling his instincts for both good and evil, Snow sets out on a race against time to survive and reveal if he will ultimately become a songbird or a snake. Starring Tom Blythe, Rachel Zegler, Peter Dinklage, Hunter Schafer, Josh Andres Rivera, Jason Schwartzman, and Viola Davis. What's interesting is that the director of this prequel is the same director of Mockingjay, Francis Lawrence, but tone-wise and visually, they are like two different movies. If you recall the previous installments with their big, weird, lavish outfits and their eccentric hairstyles, well, there's some of that as well in this film to a certain degree, but all of it seems to be more subdued. I mean, bombastic and peculiarities are replaced by moods and palettes that constantly remind us that dystopian setting is ruthless, unforgiving, and gruesome. And it totally works. The result is a Hunger Game movie in which the impact weighs heavy on the characters from start to finish. The costumes, the layout, the designs, the music score, and the cinematography are all exquisite, and the battle arena in particular is so chaotic and messy. It provides for so many unpredictable, pulse-pounding, and at times shocking moments. This is the story about the rise of Coriolanus Snow, and although some of it is a bit shaky and muddled in the third act, much of it is also quite compelling. You can really follow that gradual evolution from empathy to romance to resentment, consequential and clever. Now, do you have to have watched the previous films in order to see this prequel? Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows by now that Hunger Games is a battle royale game to the death, forcing a bunch of kids to kill each other. So that concept is widely known, but it would help to have watched the previous films, mainly because this prequel does have a lot of, you know, Easter eggs that would make you go, ah, I totally understood that reference. And on top of that, the themes that keep getting emphasized in this film is, what are the Hunger Games for? And it's a question which apparently has various profound interpretations. And so the excitement of exploring that could be a big draw for audiences who may not have memories of the previous films in their heads. Last but not least, all praises go to the casting director who successfully rounded up these wonderfully talented group of actors. Jason Schwartzman is hysterical as the ever so funny MC Flickerman. Jason has the best lines in the movie, and his character is a show must go on type of guy and can disturbingly make light of a tragic event, and Jason delivers that to perfection. Viola Davis is frighteningly scary. Much of that credit goes to the makeup department, but it's Viola's impeccable ability to appear diabolical and sinister that truly sells her character. And the way that Peter Dinklage embodies his character in this movie gives off that vibe of Severus Snape, minus everything that made Severus Snape admirable. Tom Blythe in the role of younger Snow gives a breakout standout performance. And I know, there have been controversies lately surrounding Rachel Zegler due to that woke Snow White. But trust me guys, Rachel is radiant in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She's the songbird technically, and whenever she bursts into songs, the movie somewhat turns into a musical for a brief minute. But I did not mind it at all, because Rachel singing and her acting are so captivating, as if we are in the presence of the next big Hollywood star. So yeah, overall I give The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes the rating of 4 out of 5. As I implied earlier, it's as if you're watching a somewhat different movie. The looks and feel, and more importantly, the approach this time is different in that it aims to hit you with an emotional punch to the gut. Look, I don't know how the fans of the book will feel about this adaptation, but from my perspective, this is a Hunger Game movie done right. So that's it, that's my review of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Smash that like button, turn on that notification bell, share this video with everyone you know, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, subscribe. Let's rock this.